Hello, everyone. Welcome to Introduction to Philosophy at Parkland Online. My name is Dr. Michael Brady. Although I prefer to be called Mike, please call me Mike. Dr. Brady sounds too stuffy. I want to do a few things in this video. The first thing I'm going to do is explain to you how the structure of the class will work. The second thing we're going to do is talk about the logistics of the course, how it'll function, how week to week assignments will work, that type of thing. And then finally, I'm going to tell you what I hope you'll take away from the class. And when we're done with all those, I'll point you to this week's assignment. As you probably know, this is a 13-week semester. Our first week will be dedicated to just a general overview of what exactly is philosophy. What is it that we're going to be covering in this class? And will also be a few interactive things, some polling and things like that for me to get to know you a little bit better and for you to get to know me a little bit better. After that, the class will be separated into 2-week sections. If you pull up the graphic that I put on the class homepage, it's easiest to see what I'm going to explain right now. The red section of the graphic will have a general introduction to philosophy. This is the type of thing you would get in any university in the world where you took an introduction to Western philosophy. The purple section is going to be more interactive, more self-directed, with me helping you, of course, and it'll help you learn a little bit about your own brain, a little bit about how to inoculate your brain. I'll explain what that means when we get to it. A little bit about other people, how they think, how they function in the world, and also a little bit about yourself, hopefully. These 2 weeks will interact. What I mean by that is, for example, in the first section, we have metaphysics. In this, I'll explain to you what metaphysics is. We'll cover one canonical philosopher, in this case, Plato, and we'll talk about that. And then in the next section, the purple section, we will also learn a little bit about the style of thinking that philosophy can make you better at. Much of the drive of this class is to get you to be a better thinker. I care very little about what you think. What I do care about is making you think better, being able to understand things more clearly, being able to express yourself more clearly, that type of thing. So these 2 sections will interact throughout the semester. There'll also be a couple of sections set up for assessments and a couple of little breaks built into the 13-week semester. The logistics of the course are quite simple. Each Tuesday evening, usually late, I'm a bit of a night person, at some point I will post that week's assignment. It'll be due the following Tuesday evening by midnight, by 11:59 p.m. on that following Tuesday. And that will continue for the entire 13 weeks with a couple of small exceptions that I'll explain when we get to them. Interspersed within those 8 weeks of content, the 1 week of intro will be a midterm assessment and a final assessment. Now, the assessments will be very low pressure. I'll give you usually an entire week or most of a week to do them. I'll expect you to take them quite seriously. They will represent the entire amount of work we've covered up to the point where you get the assessment, and the final assessment will be cumulative. So the assignments will generally be a mixture of reading and writing, interactive work that you do on your own and then present in some fashion to the class, and then the assessments. And this will all be detailed on the syllabus when I post it in PDF form on the main Cobra page. And finally, let me just say a little bit about myself and what I hope you can get out of this class. I came into philosophy to try to make the world a better place. I know that sounds a little bit corny. I live in the world, I know how things work, and I know that when people say that, it seems very unusual, but I really do mean it. I really do think learning to think better, learning to inoculate our brains from some of the nonsense out there, learning to understand some of the history in the past that makes up our universe and our world really can change you. It can make you think more clearly. It can make you understand others with more empathy and sympathy. And it can really, really help you know yourself a little bit better. That is what philosophy can do for you. There are some specific things that I hope you'll take from the class. I'll detail these on the syllabus. But it's really that last one, getting to know yourself, that I really, really hope you get from the course. when you learn to look deeply at the world, look deeply at famous philosophical texts, look deeply at ethics, politics, and epistemology, it can help you have a better view of what's going on underneath the surface of our world. And so that's what I hope you get out of the class. And finally, let me make a plea. I am here to help you. It is not an inconvenience for you to text me in the middle of the night and say, Mike, what was the reading? What was the assignment? That's actually my job. That's what I'm here for. It's difficult in an online class to have that personal connection that you would get in an in-person class. But I try to do that. My text is there. I mean for you to use it. We can Skype or do a Google chat anytime if you feel like you need a little bit of help. If you want to meet in person, I'm at Parkland a few days a week. We can meet there. But take it seriously. I really, really do mean it. If you need something or you just want a question or you just want to talk philosophy, please, I'm happy to do it. And welcome to Introduction to Philosophy.